Hi everyone, and welcome to day 22 of Recovery 2.0 Stories of Victory, 30 Days of Recovery, celebrating National Recovery Month, September 2021. Thank you for being here. My name is Patience. I'm a woman in recovery, and I'm so grateful to be here among all the amazing brothers and sisters in recovery, getting to share my story of victory with you here today. I am the founder of healingmatrix.net, a holistic healing center for yoga, Ayurveda, coaching, and more, located in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., where I live. I am the mother of 2 adult children who live in California. If you tuned in live on the 22nd of September, you saw me sitting outside the Airbnb in the beautiful weather, and then the Zoom promptly crashed. So this is take 2. Welcome back, and thank you for being here. My story is not unique. I came in recovery through the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous in November of 2018. November 27th, 2018 is my sobriety date. I'm still an active member of AA. I have a sponsor, and I sponsor other women. And I'm the oldest daughter of a single teenage mom. We lived with my grandparents until I was 5 or 6 years old. My grandfather was an active alcoholic, and my grandmother was sad and angry most of the time. I experienced physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglect, and violence in the first 5 years of my life. And I bring this up because Dr. Gabor Mate, and if you know his work, you'll understand what I'm about to say. And if you're not familiar, I say go check out his work. He's done some amazing work on addiction and recovery. He says the question isn't why the addiction, the question is why the pain. And for me, why the answer to why the pain was how I grew up. All this was normal for me. This was normal life. The physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglect, and violence. And a side note, very interesting note, was in 2017, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, debilitating pain, fatigue, inability to get out of bed after years and years of what I now know was workaholism and overachieving, high achieving. And those were my coping mechanisms as a child. I would perform for the adults, the drawing, dancing, singing, bringing home good grades, or I would try to be invisible. And I did all of that at a very early age, and it carried through my adult life. My first addiction was food, sugar, junk food, fast food. I would eat to numb out when I was young, and later in high school, I started restricting my food, and then I started binging and purging, which is a behavior that would continue over my lifetime until I connected with Recovery 2.0 in 2019, to be quite honest. It was a conversation that I had with Kia Miller that just shifted things for me. She told me that you can't grow spiritually if you're abusing your body that way. If I'm abusing my body that way, it hinders my spiritual growth, and that really hit home for me. It was at that time I was 1 year sober from drugs and alcohol and cannabis, which really was nothing short of a miracle. Up until 2018, I was a daily user of alcohol, weed, and pills. And it really was grace that had me consider that maybe my wanting to drink myself to death was not a normal reaction to the stressors of life, and that maybe I did have a problem with alcohol. I tried to stop drinking, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't able to stop on my own. In the past, I had been able to stop and do a cleanse, or stop and do a program, or, stop for the summer, or do a sober January. But this time I found like I couldn't. And I reached out for help, and I went to my first AA meeting that evening. AA taught me that if I don't take the first drink, I won't get drunk. That we don't have to do this alone, and that I never have to feel that way again. And I worked the steps like I drank and I used daily, and as if my life depended on it. And that worked for me. That worked for me. Life got better. I got better. My relationships got better. I started dealing with the underlying PTSD that I was diagnosed with shortly before getting sober. I started practicing yoga again, and practicing dinacharya, that rhythmic living according to Ayurveda. And that's when I found Recovery 2.0. I was about 9 months sober, 10 months sober. And in another moment of grace, I was listening to a podcast by one of my favorite yogis, and he was interviewing Tommy and Kia. And I was struck with this wanting to know more. So I did a quick web search. I found Recovery 2.0 and the Thanksgiving retreat. I applied, and 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to meet these kindred spirits, Tommy's book in hand. That experience was nothing short of life-changing. If you're watching this and you have yet to experience Tommy and Recovery 2.0 live, I will tell you it is a truly, truly transformative experience. And give yourself that gift if you can at all make it happen. Since that journey, I've developed a daily sadhana. I've become a certified yoga teacher and a yoga of 12-step recovery leader. That's allowed me to start a yoga of 12-step recovery meeting here in Northern Virginia at the Unity Club where I got sober. And it is such a gift to be able to give that gift of moving freely in your body to other people in recovery. Other gifts that I've gotten to experience since recovery and Recovery 2.0 is I soft launched my business here in Northern Virginia. I repaired my relationships with my children, which is a daily practice. It's a daily practice, and I get to practice. I've fallen in love, which is also a daily practice, which I get to practice. And I've also reversed all the clinical signs of autoimmune disorder, which I attribute that to my daily practice. I sleep well, I wake rested, and I have a deep love for this life where I once felt mostly pain. And what a gift. What a privilege to live this one precious human life, and to get to share my story with you today. It's my hope that if you're watching this, you know that your story is unfolding for you right now, moment by moment, in miraculous ways. Know that you are a miracle, and that I honor you. Thank you for letting me share. Satnam.